Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the first of its kind. Well, back in the day they used to do them, but this is the first of the new era, as it were, of the HCW tier list. I am, of course, your host, Dan DP Dupuisi, and I'll be doing these every so often, not semi-regularly or regularly. It depends on what's available and who's free to do it. But we figured that we'd start with someone who's very relevant to the current scene in wrestling. And so with that in mind, we are looking at doing a tier list or ranking or whatever you want to call it of every Joe Hendry custom theme, custom entrance music, custom whatever you want to call it. I am joined, of course, by Scottish wrestling extraordinaire and expert, Muzza.
Yep, happy to be here. As soon as he said uttered one letter, I was like, I'm in. But then I realized what I was getting into. I was like, oh well.
I mean, I've got the exact Discord. I've got the exact convo we had. I was like, "Are you free?" You went, "Mm-hmm." What for? I went, "I'm thinking of doing a test of Joe Hendry." And you put the gif of like the guy from Jurassic Park doing his glasses. Like, what? He's doing it.
Yeah, we've got the list here. I'm surprised. I've now noticed how you've ranked it. There's some that I've labeled at D that I'm gonna have to lower down, but that's fine. I can sort that out myself.
Yeah. So in this show, we have it as the letters for ranking are S tier, which are like the best of the best. We have A tier, which are like, very good, really good, but not the best. We have B, which is better than average, but also not necessarily, like, it's not one that you'd regard in the highest regard. You'd still watch it, but, C tier is, like, bang average. It's like, it's there, it's not bad, but it's just kind of there. And F is reserved for the absolute, like, really bad ones that either make no sense or aren't received that well for whatever reasons, or just generally not that good, in our opinion, of course. This is not anything to be taken as gospel. This is not anything to be, put your hand on the Bible, sort of like swear your allegiance sort of thing. This is just purely opinions, and me and Muzza here might agree, we might disagree. If we do disagree, we'll have to try and find some sort of compromise.
Right to the death, it is.
So these will be containing a lot of Hendry themes that he's used over the years. So his time in ICW in Scotland, his time on the indie circuit, and also his time in TNA. Be it the first run he had in TNA before the pandemic, and also his current run in TNA post-pandemic. So,
also, one thing I did say before we start, were you surprised at how many had a certain man from Pro 2 Wrestling on them with the Davey Blaze? Were you surprised with that many, him being in a lot?
I mean, not really. I mean, I knew he was affiliated with Hendry to some extent in ICW. Like him and him and the other one, Wee Man.
Wee Man. I think Wee Man wasn't as much, but it was mainly him and Davey. They were a tag team under Local Fire, and they were very popular.
Yeah. But yeah, this is why I got Muzza here, because I never really got into ICW back in the day, whereas Muzza was, an ICW fanatic.
Yeah, there was certainly a strong time between, I think it was roughly when the Local Fire started becoming official, so it was from that time to, say, maybe end of pandemic era, I was hooked on ICW.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Not watching every show, but I kept up to date, so...
Yeah,
some of these ones are even before I started watching as well, so it's interesting to see how he's evolved over the time.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, without any further ado, you can see my camera above. You can see Muzza's camera below, and to our right is just the tier list itself, S to F, but not including D and E, because why would you want to rate the lower ones anyway like that? But yeah, without any further ado, I am ready to get going if you are.
Ready?
Sweet. So, I've got my list here, which is written in the order of the tier list. we have what I believe is the initial theme for him, which was the IC Me and You.
Joe Hendry, local hero.
With James R. Kennedy.
I believe so. Correct. That was his first one when he came into the company, managed by James R. Kennedy. Fun fact. Which I don't think that relationship lasted long, but that's me just yammering on again. I need to try and stop that. But yeah, I've got my ranking here. I ranked it at C. Before it's nothing. It's his first one. Nothing special. But it gets to the point that it works for him as a face or a heel, but it is also definitely more on the heelish side. You can see he's got an arrogant streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a solid starter one, so I put it at C.
That's fair. I had it at B personally, just because it was it was the debut, and it's like it set the tone for a lot of what more is to come. But also it's probably the one I recognise most of his early days as well. But I had it at B, but I'm happy to put it down to C.
I mean, we could probably move these up and down as we go along. I think it depends if you think, is it, like, I know some people do, like, do you rank as a high B, a low B, a high C, or...
Oh, I'd put it at low B, which is why I'm willing to put it at C. So, I mean, should I throw it in C for now?
I've probably got it right slap bam in the middle of C, but I can probably put it up to a high C.
That's fair. Well,
I think that's a fair compromise.
This is the first one, so we can move them around as need be.
Yeah.
So the second one that I have here is why does Dalton Castle need to fly?
Why does Dalton Castle need to fly? Oh, tell me why.
Which is a parody of Ian Van Daal's Castles in the Sky with Marsha. I've got this rated at C, personally.
But at C, was that?
Yeah, we're at C.
I've surprisingly got it at B. I really enjoyed this one.
That's fair.
I really enjoyed this one. I think, Dalton's a great character, so his expressions and his post-reaction is just brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, similarly, I'd be willing to drop down to C, but I'd say it's probably I'd say it's a high C.
That's fair. I mean, I'll compromise with you. Like, I can see the value in it. I can absolutely see like the effort put into it as well, because a lot of my rankings are based on what the original parody is, a lot of what the original song is that's parody of. So like how well does it keep to the source material sort of thing. So yeah, I'm happy to put it in B, but for me it'd be like a low B.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? We're saying B or C?
We'll put it at a low B.
Okay. Up next, we have Gabe Kidd, or otherwise known as Gabriel Kidd nowadays, or Gabe Kidd still. He basically is always a jobber to me.
He looks like a child, but he's always a jobber to me.
Which is a parody of Billy Joel's She's Always a Woman.
Yeah. Meant to think how we've watched Gabe Kidd for a lot longer than some other wrestlers, and look where he is now.
Yeah.
This is a mentalist on New Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was another solid one. I've got it at B.
Okay. I've got it at C. Purely because it's just I'm not a huge fan of the song, and the tune is not that good for me.
I will say, as I went through my rankings, a lot of his Defiant ones I think are kind of in this. Yeah, I think this was one of the better ones for me, but
That's fair. Yeah.
But I think I'd be willing to. I'd say it's definitely below Dalton, but I'd say it's maybe above ICW Me and You.
I can agree with that, actually. Yeah. Like I said, with the original one, it set the tone, but it's also not the greatest of ones. So I'm more happy to put
But
that
I'd say
there.
I'll put it in C. I'd say put it in C, but above HCW.
Yeah,
All
there we
that
go.
is. There we go.
So the next one we have here, as you'll notice, is quite familiar. It is the James R. Kennedy and some guy called Tim. It's the parody of Wheatus's Teenage Dirtbag, where Kennedy is announced to be George Michael's son.
Been asking some questions, got a text from my mom. I'm George Michael's son.
He is.
I've
We
got-
should even some guest cameos from Jeremy Kyle.
exactly, and another
I've
guy
seen him in a while.
that I didn't recognise.
Yeah, I've got this one at B.
I wasn't got this one to B.
Yeah.
So that's a fairly simple B.
Okay, I think it's better than the Dalton one personally.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think it is better than that.
I think it's a very high B.
Yeah, it's a common theme that I think. I don't necessarily know if you agree with it, but for me, a lot of the ICW ones rank higher than most of them.
Yeah.
So up next we have the Rory Coyle Shut Up, Use DVDs.
He's got a VHS. I say shut up, use DVDs.
Which is the parody of Walk the Moon, Shut Up and Dance. Which I've got at a C.
I got that B. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's because it's a song that I really like as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I personally would have it above Dalton, but I don't know if that's something you would agree with. I'd be willing to compromise and say it's maybe a low B or a high C.
Yeah, see, I'm not a huge fan of the actual Source song as well. But I do like the creativity of the song, and I like the fact that it's just literally referencing Rory Coyle's need for VHS.
Yeah.
And obviously plus the fact that, like, hey, that's old fashioned, why using those? Use DVDs. Which now in itself is outdated. So I like the irony of that. But I'm fine to put it at high C if you're alright with that.
Yeah, high C will do me.
There we go. Up next, we have a really random one. It is the diss on Reese Ryan. It is The Greatest Showman, which is a parody of The Greatest Showman, which was at a indie show called British Wrestling Revival in 2018.
Says he is the VIP. He looks like Home Alone to me.
There we go. Yeah, first of all, funny enough, he calls him a Macaulay Culkin lookalike. I say he looks like a British version of the Paul brothers.
That's valid, yeah. I was gonna say he looks like a British version of early doors Jay White.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for one that he's done at a random show, seemingly in Grimsby, which is another one of Grimsby that we'll get along to later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got this one at B. I thought it was a really good one.
Yeah, that's valid. I had it at high C personally. Again, it's just I'm not a fan of The Greatest Showman.
That's I've never watched the movie. All I know is that one song and nothing else.
I know like 2 songs from it because they played it on the radio all the time, but for me, it's just a little bit eh. Like I wouldn't put it at an F by any means, but
yeah, I'd say I'd maybe make the case again for maybe like a high C.
Yeah.
Would you say it's above Shut Up, Use DVDs?
I'd put it between Jobber and DVDs personally, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So after that, we had one of the ICW ones. We had the diss jacket on Sabu. How Do I Live with Sabu? Which is a parody of Leanne Rimes' How Do I Live Without You?
How do I live with Sabu?
Which I put at a B.
I had this one at C.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was it was decent. I think in terms of some of the ICW ones, I'd say it's personally for me it's one of the weaker ones, but that's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
I-
It's a song I don't really know. The source song I don't really know well,
Yeah.
so that probably does have a factor in it.
That's fair. I mean, when I was younger, I used to like Leanne Ram songs a lot, which is why I'm much more familiar with it than I am some of the other songs on this list. But I'm fine to put it down into a C because for me, it's not like you said. It's not one of the stronger ISW songs that we'll get to.
Yeah, I think C's fair. I'll let you choose in between where and C, since it's your preference. Really, is your preferred song.
Fair enough. I think I'd put it at the high point of C, but I don't know if you're okay putting it above Rory Coyle.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Okay, doke. So move on now to the one on Bad Bones, John Klinger, R.I.P. Of course, he passed away fairly recently. But this was the Joe Hendry Titanic song mixed with a bit of Art Attack for some reason. But it was also the parody of Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
He sees him, he feels him.
So yeah, I've got this at C.
I also have it at C, so it's just a matter of
Okay, so
where in C.
yeah, because we're built. This is my way. I had a lot ranked at C, and I'm worried we're gonna have a whole load of C. But we'll see. Well, we will see.
So yeah, I would say for me, it's probably worse than the initial song.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Up next we have it is the Scotty O'Shea Bad Day parody of Daniel Powter's Bad Day. This was in Smash Wrestling with the Canadian promotion.
I had this at C.
I also had it at C, but for me it'd be probably at this point more of a mid C.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Saying that, I do like the song a lot, but I'd probably put it above Home Alone.
Yeah, that's fine.
After this, we go into another ICW one. It is the Noam Dar Hendry Wall, which is a parody of Oasis's Wonderwall.
Anybody feels the way he does about his hand.
I had this at a B.
I also had this at B.
Nice.
I think it perfectly slots in between the two we've got at B, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So up next we have probably the most viral of the ones that we've looked at so far, which is the Mr. Anderson parody of Pokemon theme.
I must defeat the wrestler who can only say his name.
Yeah, it is. I think this was the first. I think this might have been not the first one I saw, but I think it's a majority of people would say this is the first one they saw.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I think Mr. Anderson was still very not hot, but he had just been let go by Impact, so he still had quite a decent amount of star power in him.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think after this, it's a quick downfall. You don't hear from him much anymore.
No, not really.
Like I think he made a small resurgence back in NWA, but that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has sort of vanished off the face of the earth, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think there was something like he had a train, a school, and it got trending, not for good reasons. I think it was just, a lack of professionalism, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had this at C. I know it's one of the more popular ones, but I think it is also quite a bit more basic.
Mm-hmm. So
that being said, I think you'll love this song. Highly depends on if you watched Pokemon growing up.
So, I watched a lot of Pokemon growing up. I collected the playing cards when I was younger. I had a Charizard first edition when I was younger. I got rid of it when I was younger, so I hate myself for that a little bit. But
Rich.
yeah, but I have put this at an A.
Okay. I think we can make. So I've said C. You got A. I think it's clear enough. The middle ground will be B.
Yep, that's fair. How low of a C is it for you?
No, I said it was a very high C.
Okay, so for mine it was a low A. So are we saying like mid B?
I'd say. I think it's quite close to me with Teenage Dirtbag. I think whether you think it's better than Teenage Dirtbag, I'll leave that to you. But I think there's a solid position.
It's definitely better than Dalton Castle.
Yeah, definitely better than that. I think it's better than Wonderwall. Teenage Dirtbag,
I agree.
I think
Yeah,
it's just,
Dirtbag is just. I think it's better produced. Dirtbag,
yeah.
and also there's just there's the stuff with the knife and the blade and stuff. Like not the AW wrestler. But yeah, I think I'm fine putting it there where I put it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you at first. Up next we have the Grado one. Grado's Eaten My Lunch, which is a parody of Shania Twain's That Don't Impress Me Much.
So where's my room? Grado has eaten my lunch.
So it's dissing a wrestler you have stated multiple times in Pro 2 and elsewhere that you're not a big fan of. So I'm assuming you've got this at S. You just love it when they. I've got this at B. I think it's a very solid. I wasn't watching ICW as much back then, but it started to decline a bit.
Yeah.
The Grado heel turn was such a bizarre thing. Like, it made sense. I don't know if I don't think it worked for Grado.
That's fair. Yeah. I've also got.
I think I've got it at B, and I think I had it at a very high B.
Yeah. So I also had it at a high B. I had it. I think I didn't rank them in terms of like put them where,
Yeah.
but I'd probably say it's better than Pokemon, but not better than Dirtbag.
Yeah, I think just Teenage Dirtbag's just such an iconic one. I think so. I think a high B. I think that's fair.
It's so good, and like it's despite the fact that it's got a wrestler in it that I don't even know. Like, I know most of the wrestlers mentioned in these, and it's like I don't know who this guy, who this.
You
team...
said that this is more the manager than it is the wrestler.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, a lot of these have like the precursor of Kennedy going, "Don't you play that music?" Like. Up next we have the one about Katarina, which is Katie Lee Burchill or Nikita on the Indies. Access Denied, which I believe is an original work of his.
What the hell did you do with your pirate brother?
It's one of the more shorter ones, really. And it like doesn't. But it gets straight to the point.
Yeah, a lot of the TNA ones are quite short.
Yeah, at least the early ones were definitely shorter.
Personally,
But that being said, it references that relationship she had with her pirate brother. So
true, very true. What the hell did she do with her pirate brother?
Well, he disappeared for years and then showed up in NWA randomly at one point.
There you go. That is the Katarina effect.
So I originally had this ranked at B, and I know for a short one, it's not really. I think it's just it does do well with the limited time he had with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to put it down to C though.
I had it at a very low C.
Okay.
I am not a huge fan of this one. To me, I wasn't necessarily a fan of a lot of the first run of TNA that he had.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff with Grado and Katarina and stuff like that, a lot of it doesn't really not sit well with me. That's not the right wording. It just isn't that interesting.
Wasn't your thing. Yeah.
Like, and
Like
even,
you can
and even
tell
the music.
the first time around, this was when he was really getting popular in the UK scene.
Mhm.
So TNA were desperate for anything at this point. So they were like, "Oh, he's popular.
Yeah.
What do we do with him?"
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's just a little, kind of just there. Like, I don't necessarily like it or dislike it. It's just
I'd say
there.
it's probably. Let's see, we've got about. I'd say it's maybe above the Home Alone one, the Grimsby. I think that's a fair enough place.
It's not Dragon.
Yep.
My Timic is broken. Wait a minute.
Suffering technical difficulties.
Oh no, we're back. It's now an A, apparently.
Well, you heard the machine. The machine has spoken. Inet has spoken. It's taking over.
Right. So we put it in the middle of C. I do promise there are some bad ones and there are some good ones that we'll put in other categories.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just B and C.
Well, speaking of...
Yes. Up next we have the one on Lionheart.
Rest in peace.
Oh wait, no we don't. That one went in by accident.
Oh, okay.
So we
What
do not have Lionheart just yet. We have another one about Grado. It's the best friend one.
Macaroni and cheese, I like steak, sex, tasty, hey.
I don't know if you saw this one.
I had this one. I originally had this one listed at D. So I know we don't have D anymore. You don't have D, so I assume you've got this at F. That's my assumption.
I had this at F personally. So if you had it at D, do you want to put it up to a low C in your mind, or keep it at F?
No, I would say put it to F, but I'd say a sort of high F.
Yes, like the high Fs.
Yes. You're not the worst, but we're still disappointed.
Yes. Right, now we play. No, now we are on Lionheart.
Lionheart as a funny. Liam Thompson has failed his degree.
Obviously passed away a few years ago, so rest in peace. But this
I
is
think how much that death really hit me at the time. I think
Yeah.
that's more because I've got own personal reasons about how he died was especially hard. But
yeah.
this one I have at A. I think this was one of it. If there's a top 3 of his ICW ones, I think this is one of them.
So I agree. I had it at A. And if I was to put this in the top 3, this would probably be third.
Yeah, because I think we know which 2 we like the most from the ICW ones.
I mean, I know one I like most. And when it
Yeah,
comes
I know-
to it,
I know
it's
which one you
going,
like
it's
most.
going straight in S. Like,
Yeah, I think this one is definitely an A.
yeah, that's valid. I'll put it in A, and then any other A's that we come across, we can argue about.
See, people, we are spreading differences. We've added an F and an A.
Look at that. We are split AF. We have now another one on Dalton Castle. This is called Celebrity. I'm not sure if it's an original or a parody or something else, because it does sound familiar, but I couldn't find or remember the actual song that it's a parody of.
If this was Destiny Child, I'm afraid that you're looking at Beyonce Knowles.
If it is one.
This might have been one I've missed, so I've not got this one, so I'm gonna fully take your word for this one.
Okay, fair enough. So this was, I believe this was before the actual match happened between Hendry and Castle. Like in the build up to it. And I had
Some of this happened during his ROH run.
Yeah, so I had this at a mid C. Personally, it's okay. It doesn't really hit in the ways that the higher ones do.
Yeah.
And that's a common theme of that era of Hendry's career as well. Like the first run TNA, the Ring of Honor stuff. Like I've seen a Ring of Honor like Hendry entrance where he did The Office, and it's not as good. So it's just something about that era post ICW that just doesn't really hit the same.
Yeah. Like you could definitely say this is him in his murky levels. Like it's murky levels. Like, he wasn't not saying he wasn't trying, but it was definitely more weaker.
Yeah,
compared to some of his other ones.
yeah, and that's not a slight on him nowadays because he does have some modern ones that are quite good. It's just for some reason during this era he might have had some sort of personal problems, or he might have lost a bit of the mojo, or he might have just not felt it. Because it happens to all of us. The old creativity bug. Yeah, the old creativity bug. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had it at mid-C, personally.
I agree with that.
So we move on now, and I know we said it's entrances and disses. And while this is not a wrestler, it's still a diss.
Okay, so this is where another one I'll probably have missed, but do say which one.
So this is the Elon Musk. We thought Elon was one of us.
Ah.
We thought Elon was one of us.
ST, we're done here.
Yeah, Elon's watching.
Elon's watching. We'll post this on X, and he'll love it.
No, so have you seen this one or no?
No.
Okay.
Again, I'll trust your wording.
Fair enough. It's mainly about just it's criticizing his Twitter and criticizing his tweets, and that he lost money on crypto because of Elon. So there's not much personal or even effect to it really. It's not an F, but I'd probably put it at a low C.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll put it. In fact, I'll put it at the lowest of C.
There we go.
So, up next, we have another one that's not necessarily an entrance theme or a diss. It kind of is an entrance theme because it's like a re-emergence theme, because I believe this was post-COVID.
Email him tonight.
Yeah, so this was post-COVID. He was finally back after sort of missing out for a couple of years.
Yeah, precisely.
I think he had also. This was during. Was it? No, I forget when he competed in the Commonwealth Games. I think that was way before that, but still.
I think that was before, yeah.
It did. This was like he was in between his ROH run and his re-emergence, where I think he really bulked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he like, I'm not one who can comment on shape and size, because I'm not in any fit shape whatsoever. But he did put on a lot of bulk, like, when he came back.
And I think that actually helped him a lot.
It did. I think the look sort of suits him better, because you can see in a lot of the ICW ones, like, he's not necessarily in the greatest of shape.
Yeah, he's not. He was always quite tall, but he never looked big. With with the look he has now, he looks big and looks like a threat in ring wise. He's
literally popping out of his shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I think for a re-emergence, I think it's good. I personally had it at a bit of a low B.
I also had a low B. So yeah, handshake.
I just question: is it better than the Dalton one? What do you think?
I personally don't think it is.
No, that's fair enough.
Up next, we have another odd one during that odd era of time, but not really, because it was kind of afterwards. It is the parody of Hadaway's "What Is Love," which is aptly titled "What Is Love," which was a entrance that he did for, I believe, an indie company. It might be North. I don't know entirely.
And the music's back!
Yeah. This was Junior said. I also gave this one a B.
Ah, okay. So how high or low is your B?
I think it was I was middle to low. I never really fully did it, but I probably put it around there. I'm assuming you've probably went C.
Yes, I went high C on this.
Okay, I think we can. I think we made agreement and say it's the low B. I think it's.
Yeah, should we do it lower than the Re-Emergence song?
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Let's throw it there. Up next is a screenshot that I took from the video, because these are all screenshots that I took from the videos, about Grimsby being the 16th worst city in the UK.
They say best when they say nothing at all.
I think that's a bit too nice. But then again, I've never been in Grimsby.
Neither
and
have I.
probably never will.
But no, this is the...
I assume
song...
you know more about Grimsby.
I'm
Well,
not-
no, wait, Grimsby's not. Grimsby's Manchester.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not near
I'm
me.
thinking.
No. So this is Grimsby Sucks, which is a parody of Ronan Keating's When You Say Nothing at All. This is the only one that I can find, other than the original one, where he is a heel in this song.
Yeah.
There probably are more, but I'm gonna find where he's a heel.
So I've got this at a C.
I also have this at a C.
And I've personally got it as a sort of like mid to low D.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that strong of a song.
Yeah.
I'd probably throw it maybe lower than Jobber.
Yeah. I think it's weird because he necessarily he should work as a heel, but I don't know if the custom entrances. You know, it's a weird thing. It's like it can work as a heel, but I don't know if it's too babyface-ish of a move to be.
It's a really weird phenomenon because the character and the way that he used to act, and even now kind of still acts, is very cocky. He's very...
Yeah, you could see it working as a heel, but yet anytime he does, it kind of never... I think there's only heel run that I think really worked was, again, near the... just before COVID with ICW, where he was Mark Dallas's top guy.
Yeah.
Like, it worked there.
I think...
And also his WCPW heel time, I think, worked very well.
Yeah. I do think if he was in the mainstream wrestling during, like, the Attitude Era, like, he could have done a really good heel run. Like, again, vis-a-vis, as we said last night, like, Hollywood Rock, who did, like, these custom concerts all the time, and they were so good, and he was such a good heel.
Imagine if those two interacted with
Oh...
even now, it would be amazing.
Like, I'm assuming that is the end goal at some point. Like, Joe Hendry doing custom themes in WWE.
You got to assume he'll do one. He's gonna do one on Gallus. He surely is gonna do one.
You'd think so. I mean, he's done enough on Joe Coffey. So that's and Wolfgang as a start, isn't it?
Yeah, he's already done two of them, and Mark Coffey isn't relevant. So
exactly. But no.
I love how that's always been the inception on Mark Coffey. It's like, yeah, your brother's more popular.
he's just the brother.
Yeah, he was. He needs to do what Matt Hardy did. Either become version 1.0 or be broken.
Broken Mark Coffey.
Joseph, I knew you'd come. But yes, next one.
Sorry.
We've got, speaking of figure parodies of wrestlers.
Yeah, so we have The Big Joe, which is the parody of the Big Show's WWF theme.
As much as it's not really, it's not much. I'm trying to think of the right words. There's not much zing to it because it really is just a parody of Big Show's. It is just Big Show's theme, but just parodied.
Yeah.
But yet it works.
Yeah, it does.
I've got it. I had it at B, and I'm willing to say low B.
See, I had it at C.
And are you low or high on the C?
I'm mid to high.
Okay, I think I personally would maybe put it just below Sharp and Use DVDs, but that's just
Put it below the DVDs. Okay, there we go.
that's
What, put it there, like low end of C?
no I meant in between, just below DVDs, as in like behind it in the
Right.
ranking.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Up next, we had a diss on my boy, the King. Kenny King. It is, of course, Stripper Kenny, which I believe is an original. I think all his TNA ones are originals.
'Cause the most successful you've ever been is when you became a male stripper.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, yeah. Or original or rip off a TNA thing.
Yeah. But like, they're not like popular mainstream songs, like parodies.
Yeah. This one I had at C.
So this one, because it mentioned my boy Kenny King, I had it like, obviously straight at S.
And then you listen to it.
I did, yeah, and then it became a C.
Yeah.
In regards to where I put it here, I'd probably put it above Access Denied.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Now, we come into one that might get a bit of dispute between us. This is I believe the second of the two that he did on him, but on AJ Francis, this is the Banned from Diving song, which is a parody of the AJ Styles Get Ready to Fly TNA theme.
You are banned from diving.
So,
Right.
I had this at A.
Ooh, okay. Oh, you know what? I had it at B.
Ah, okay.
I had I think I had it at a high B as well, so
So are we saying low A for this?
I say it's nowhere near Seven Nation Army. I will say that, but I do think it's a very catchy.
Yeah, I feel like the main two...
Me personally, I wouldn't put it above Teenage Dirtbag, but I'm willing to make an exception and say it's a low A.
Yeah, I was thinking more low A for this, because, as you said, it's not... Because like, Lionheart's one is, like, top A. Like, this is, like, near the high A. I'd put this at low A, personally. I think it's better than the Dirtbag, but obviously, if you think differently, then we can put it in B, or, like, high B.
No, I'm willing to accept it being a low A.
Okay.
It is a catchy.
It really is. It's just... And it sticks to the source material, as well.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing that I like. Is that when it sticks to the original parody that it's parodying.
Yeah.
So you might have seen the screenshot for this next one. Some people say that if you believe or if you say his name, he will appear. This is, of course, the "I Believe in Joe Hendry," which is his general current theme.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
But what a general theme.
What a theme, exactly. And it's for that reason that I'm not taking any of our answers except S.
I did have it at A.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
I am willing to put it at S because it has just blown up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think among the wrestling universe,
It's part of the reason now he's more popular than ever.
exactly. Like among the wrestling universe of fans, like there's probably no one you would ask who wouldn't know that theme. Like even among WWE fans, like who are like historically some of the most closet-minded ones, like like they're like, who's Joe Hendry? What? No, like most of them do know the song and they don't know the name Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this theme is an S. It probably won't be the high S, but I think it's still an S. Are you okay with putting it in S?
Yep, absolutely.
Fantastic. Up next, we have the one on Dirty Dango, aka Fandango, Diva's Reject from TNA.
Started when you got rejected by Summer and Eva when you were trying to get laid on Total Divas.
Yeah, this one was alright. I thought, I thought like with Fandango you'd be able to get a bit more out of it, but I had this at a high C.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, I mean, when you go from beating Jericho 1, 2, 3 to then, playing dress up and playing as the Police, you're bound to get a C. That pun didn't go as well as I hoped, but oh well.
Yeah, I think it's. Maybe put it. I think between those two, I think are definitely.
Which two?
DVDs and Sabu.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm fine with that. Right. Okay. So this next one is potentially going to have some debate. This is probably the most recent parody one that he's done, which is the one on Elijah, or Elias as he was previously known, which is called Hendry Took His Job, which is the parody of Casey and the Sunshine Band's Give It Up.
But Hendry took his job, Hendry took his job. Na, 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 na.
I personally have this at a low C.
I'm trying to find where I've ranked it, unless I've missed it by accident, but I think I did have this at a sort of low B, so...
So say mid to high C then?
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so there's a lot less discourse there than I thought there'd be, because I thought you would have had that at potentially a high A.
Nah, I don't...
For me, it's just
Yeah, I think I'd say just below Big Joe.
okay. For me, that song is just a bit lazy. It's just it has the filming style of the old Hendry, but it's also just the same thing over and over. He has one verse at the start, and then it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's just boring to me.
Yeah. Now this one.
So this is the one in TNA, of course, of Moose, called Dancing Moose.
I believe in his dancing.
Which is just his theme, but with different lyrics.
Yes. Say his name, Moose appears.
I believe in his... You're rejected from football. So
I initially had this
it's
at a
still
C.
the Joe Hendry theme.
Yeah.
It's still the Joe Hendry theme, but it does kind of slap a bit of lazy.
A little bit. But I initially had this at a C, but just doing that now with you, it reminded me of how much fun that theme is.
Yeah, so I have it. I would say a low B.
Yeah, I'll say mid to low B. Is it better than Dalton Castle? That's our main B.
I love how that is our base point.
Yeah.
I say it is.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree. Castle is just our. Is it better than Dalton Castle as our B? Like,
Yeah. It is the Best of Bs.
right. Up next we have not the one that you know just yet. It is the Working as a Team Joya theme.
Working as a team.
Joe Hendry and
This was one I missed out on because I thought it was the exact same, which
it's not.
I did give it a listen to and realised, no, it isn't. And I forgot to rank it.
It's not much different. To be fair.
Yeah. It's kind of just a retread, really. I prefer the original, really.
Yeah.
I think I've got this one at a C.
And I also have it at a C. For me, it's probably about mid-C.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Are we saying it's better than Big Joe?
If you think it is, then yeah.
I don't think it is. Is it better than Elijah?
Yeah, that's fine enough by me.
So, up next, we have got one picture that I decided to not take two of. I don't know why I didn't do that, because I split here as two different songs. Wait a minute, let me...
Are we just counting this as one?
I did count this as one initially. There we go. It's on there twice now.
Because I've ranked it as one. So
I ranked it as two.
Okay.
But on the tier list, I only use one image for some reason.
Okay, so I think it will depend. So it's, as I say, it's Axel. It's a one on Axel Taisha. It's a 2-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
The opening bit is a rip-off of Billy Gunn's "I'm an Ass Man," but
Yeah.
I'm an Axe Man.
He made his name on NXT, but now we know him for chopping trees.
I'd say this part I have at I'd say a high C.
So I had Axeman at a high B.
Oh,
I
okay. I think we have a bit of this. I wonder if we're gonna have a discourse in the second part. But we'll...
I ranked it at a high B because I thoroughly love the Arsman theme.
Yeah.
It's probably Billy's best one. So go.
I think we're definitely going to have a disagreement here in the next part. But yeah, I would say I'll put it B, and I say it's above Dancing Moose.
That's fair. So that's the first part, above Dancing Moose. And the second part is Shake That Axe For Me, which is a parody of Eminem's Shake That Ass For Me.
Now the issue is I never ranked this as a fully. I ranked it completely as an A. I really like this one. And I really like it's because I'm a big fan of the Eminem song with Nate Dogg.
Mm-hmm. So
I've got this. I would concede maybe B, but I'm curious to see where you have this.
I personally, I have it at low C. I much prefer the Axeman than I do Shake the Axe.
Okay, so
you're saying, what was it? You were saying high B or
I
A?
will concede. I will say I ranked the whole thing as an A, so I was counting both two songs as one, so
Okay.
I never really ranked them separately. I will be willing to concede at putting the second part at the lowest of Bs.
You know what? That's fair. That is absolutely fair. I applaud your compromise.
Yeah.
Where do we go? Here we go. This one. We put that also at B. Up next, we have a TNA one. But I believe it's modern TNA rather than his first one TNA. So, it is the one on Matt Cardona. And it is called Edge's Bitch which is a parody of Belinda Carlisle's Heaven's Place on Earth.
You're the king of the indies, and now you're rich. But to me, you will always be Edge's bitch.
I have this at low A.
Ooh, I've got this at B.
Okay.
And I say a high B, so...
Okay, so if it's high B, we can just put it around Dirtbag.
Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say.
it-
I think it's actually better than Teenage Dirtbag.
Ah, there we go.
Because I don't think. Because mainly, I think the whole thing it's a bit of a shock value. Like, oh, you didn't really expect them to bring up Edge, but
Exactly, yeah. And it's catchy as well. Imagine just going to a random TNA show and you see Matt Cardona versus Joe Hendry, and it's just like this song plays.
yeah.
Up next, we've got another TNA one, modern TNA one on AJ Francis. This is the Cheez It Champion one, which is original.
But I'm the Cheez-It champion, the best they've ever had.
Yeah.
I got this rated at a C.
Same.
Yeah, it's not that good for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to for you to put it wherever you feel and see. I don't really have a much of an opinion of it. It's just
there.
kind of there.
It's kind of valid for it.
Yeah.
We'll call it F because there are some Fs still to come in this.
Yeah.
At least
And
for
there's
me,
still
there are.
some bangers.
Yes, there are. There are surprisingly a couple more S's that I can see that are remaining.
Yeah.
We have up next we have Simon Miller, sang in Nickelback, which is another original, I believe.
Before you were a wrestler, you sang in Nickelback.
I've also got this to see.
Same. Again, I've not really got much of a strong opinion, so I'll just let you pick wherever and see you feel.
I have got no personal thought on this personally. It's Simon Miller, so bottom.
Oh, we've got beef. We've got beef.
You know what? I put him at bottom of C. You want to know why? Here's why.
Is it an up or a down? It's not. It's a middle. Screw you. That's middle now.
But up next we got.
Please don't batter us, Simon. We know you could.
You probably could actually. And the worst thing is he's in London.
Yeah, he'll be. We'll see him at Riot Cabaret.
So up next we have Eli Drake, or as known now as L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, so I called it Dress Up as Fun. It's an original.
I just called it Eli Drake.
For calling people dumb, but really he thinks dressing up is fun.
I tried to give him names if there were ones.
So this, I believe, is his first one in TNA, and boy, does it not stick the landing.
Yep, I fully agree.
I've got this at F.
Yeah, I did too.
Unfortunately, it just
I do think the
it
best
missed
friend.
the mark.
I think Best Friend Grado is better,
Yeah,
and I think it's by a good margin.
like at least
as
that
well.
one was more about this one. This one wasn't really much of a parody. It was just oh yeah, look at some of the silly things you've done on the internet.
Yeah, like it comes across, and I know it's not intended this way, but it comes across as very shaming for wanting to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Like in today's day and age, this does not age well.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's something I didn't really think about, but now that I think about it, yeah, it's
Like
rough.
there's a whole community of people who will be thoroughly against this for multiple reasons. Like,
mm-hmm.
so it's just a bit in poor taste, and I feel like the time it was made as well, like that wasn't too far off it being a regular occurrence, these sorts of things happening in the world as well, so it's kind of done in poor taste, this one. There we go. We move on to
next one.
Yes, the next one is one of the more modern ones, but on the indies. It's from North Wrestling. It is Scotty 2 Hotty's Shite People's Elbow. I'm going to be completely honest. For me, this goes like there.
Ooh. So I've got it at A. I have it at a very high A.
Is it higher than the current theme? Oh, current theme. Is it higher than Iheart? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I'm willing to concede that then and put it at the top of A.
Yeah. Like on the picture and the basis of it, it didn't. I wasn't 100% sure if it was gonna be as good, but then once you listen to it, it just gets stuck in your head.
It really does. Whoa, the worm's too slow. Whoa, the Shite People's Elbow.
Weren't quite as over as Rikishi's ass.
That's tough as a chop.
Yeah, I agree. This one, this isn't it. No, we're not going into a parody of that Jim Ross parody song.
Up next, we have the song on, I believe his name is Murder Clown.
I wanna give you my love and also randomly attack you.
Yeah, this one was a random one.
Yeah, so this was again part of the old Katarina saga of stuff. Where she aligned herself with Murder Clown, who came over from, I believe, AAA.
I don't know if it was that same Murder Clown. It might be. I don't know. I never looked into who it was. I just saw, it's a clown.
It's Krusty.
Could have been for the menagerie. I don't know.
It's Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve.
Crazy's put on the pounds then.
I have this at a low C.
I've got to C. Yeah, C. I'll let you choose which C. Where in C.
Put it just above Simon Miller, because that's Simon Miller. Up next, we're going back to ICW now. And this is The Local Hero, which is a parody of the Foo Fighters' My Hero.
I had this at a high C.
Yeah, that's valid. I had it at a mid C.
Yeah.
So just put it somewhere between mid and high, really.
Yeah.
Like, is it
above the Joyo one?
Is it yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But is it better than Elijah?
Nah.
Fair enough.
I think it is.
Okay. I'm marking these on my list here. Up next, we have a very short one because he was just entering a Royal Rumble Battle Royal thing here. It is
the ICW Square Go.
Thank you. Yes, it is We Want Hendry, which is a parody of Queen's We Will Rock You.
We want Hendry.
I will say I'm like Queen are probably my favorite band to ever exist. I have this at a high B.
I had this at a high C, so I think I probably put it at a mid B.
That's fair. Yeah. Is it better than Dalton Castle?
I was going to say it's better than Dancing Moose, but is it better than Axeman?
That is Axeman. That's Axeman, isn't it? Not Shake That Axe.
No, that is it better than Axeman?
I don't think it is.
No. Okay, that's fair enough. I think that's a fair place to put it.
Up next, we have more ICW. It is, I didn't get a name for this one. It was just all right here was parody of Phil Collins's "In the Air Tonight."
Orchestrated by surprise. It is the local hero. Joe
Yeah, that's what I just had it as Kennedy because it was a diss on James Kennedy again, and Phil
was it?
Collins. Yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't know that.
Well, I think it was because James R. Kennedy was the manager of his opponent. So yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, I had this at a high C.
I had this at C as well.
How
I had
high-
it more as a mid C.
Fair enough. So somewhere around Foo Fighters then.
Yeah, it's because of how many I in C. I'll just let you pick where. I wouldn't have an issue.
That's fair. I think it's I think it's a bit
Like I
better.
said, I have. Yeah.
Actually, no, I'd say that. I think it's better than Big Joe.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think it's there personally.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's not hard to be better than Big Joe. Really.
Yeah. Now
Let's see. Now,
we're getting to more bangers.
can I
coming
get
up
a
soon.
Joya?
Yep.
Baby, can I get
My
a...
neighbour's wondering what the fuck's going on. I'm sorry, I loved this theme.
I did, yeah.
For as much as it was the most random pairing you could ever think of, they made it work.
They
And
absolutely
as
did.
you've said now, Yuya's uncomfortableness almost doing this made it even better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just like, I'm doing this? Okay.
I personally had it
I
at
have
high
this
B.
at- I had this at A.
How high?
I'd be willing to put it at the lowest of A's right now.
I would put it... Because personally, I had it below Edge's Bitch. But...
Okay, yeah, I'd be comfortable.
I'd also have it... I could have it above it, but below Bad from Diving.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. We could make the case of promoting Edge's Bitch to A, because I think Edge's Bitch is really catchy.
I do as well, actually. So, are we saying...
And put it... Yeah, put that there. Edge's Bitch is above it, but it's in A.
Yeah, fair enough. And meanwhile, Dalton Castle goes down.
Poor Dalton.
Joya is A. And Edge's Bitch is also an A. Up next, we have ICW again. We have Wolfgang, Brand New Bike, which is a parody of Limp Bizkit's Rollin', aka one of the best songs to ever be made.
Yeah. And what? So surprisingly, we knew both like Limp Bizkit Rolling. I do feel the parody. I think it didn't go deep enough.
It didn't. No,
Like
you're right.
they do a whole prelude bit, which is somewhat funny.
Mm-hmm. Hi,
I don't think they
I'm
did enough
Bobby
with the
from
song.
Bobby's Motors.
No, we threw it in a skip. Like
Oh.
that does kind of help it a bit, but I feel like they could have done more of the song.
Yeah, and there's a whole bit where you know in the song where it's like I can't remember the lyrics on the top of my head, but there's a bit that's just like completely empty, and it's just like it's just music and there's no lyrics whatsoever. It's just them staring at a bike. Like
Yeah, so I have this at a high C.
I was at a mid to high C, so yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking
I
shame
think it's-
because I would have loved this to be so much more.
Yeah. Would you say it's the highest C?
No, Sabu is
No.
firmly there for now.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it like around here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Up next, we have, for me, this is an S. We have
I'm not gonna question it. It is Jack Jester.
it's Jack Jester.
Jack Jester's in My Room, which is a parody of I know it's Venga Boys. I forget which Venga Boys song.
It's the
You're gonna
one.
have to-
It's the one that Jet Jester does. Boom, 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 boom.
Ah, yes. When,
Boom, 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 boom. Jack Jester's in my room. I'm calling the police now, but they're taking forever.
when he does that, what does it mean? Now we know.
Yeah. Like, this is.
I'm willing to concede it is S, but the big question on everyone on my mind is it better than his TNA theme?
I personally, right? I put it down. I'll put it down. Single. Hold the mouse there. For most people, like as you said earlier, the Pokemon one was the one everyone saw first, or the ones that most people saw first. This is my first one. The Vega Boys one. And this is the one that has stuck with me throughout my life, and so much so that when I hear the actual song on my Spotify, I sometimes say Jet Jester's in my room. Rather than boom, 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 boom. So, for me,
I agree it's an S. I'll let you decide. I've decided. Is it better than?
I think it has longevity.
Yeah.
Which, there we go. I think it goes above the current theme. What do you think?
I would comfortably agree. I'd say it's 100% an S. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going through.
It's arguably.
I can see the list below, and
It's arguably up there as one of his best ICW work.
I can see at least 2 more S's in this list below.
Interesting.
Up next, though, we have. Whoops, that's not it. There we go.
It was his entrance for Fear and Loathing. It was
Hendry Ball.
Hendry Bowl.
Which is a parody of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball.
Don't you ever say you don't want Joe Hendry. I will.
You know something? I'm just gonna sit back and let us one play.
I think the kind of joke here was in a couple of other parody themes he'd done, he brought up Hendry Bowl before.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's sort of like almost like a bit of a build to finally making his entrance in a Hendry Bowl.
Yeah, I do understand that. I appreciate that. But for me, the song itself and the theme and the parody, I don't know. I never watched it at the time, so I don't have the full connection to it as you do. But like for me, it's a mid C. Like it's not the same as the others.
I had it at admittedly a low B. I'll be willing to say a high C.
Okay, how high a C are we saying?
I'd say just maybe in between. Maybe just above Big Joe.
Hey, here he is, Big Joe. Okay, so up next we have the trailer for the Shah Samuels movie, which is a parody of the EastEnders theme.
Yep.
At Asda, would you like to buy some meat?
I love the choice of parody because it's just because he's from East London, so it connects. However,
East.
I felt like he could have. My issue is that it kind of repeats. It's not really much work has been into.
Yeah. Would
Kinda
you like
repeating.
to buy some meat? It's
Like I feel like you could have went so much more.
No,
I know Shah Samuel did do a political campaign at one point, did he not?
Sorry. Say again.
But I know Shah Samuels did do a political run. Was this before or after? Or during?
I feel like wasn't that during his time in No I'm Dying WWE?
If it was, I'd be surprised. I knew he did. I didn't know when.
I could be wrong. I don't fully recall because, like I said, I didn't watch ICW back then, so I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember back in the UK scene back then if he did a political gimmick.
Yeah,
might have
I think this one I originally ranked as a D. I thought while so I'd maybe say it's maybe an F. I don't know if you're as low as it as I am.
Ah, yes, the high F.
Yeah.
I mean, for
It's
me,
one of the rare blunders from his ICW ones.
I personally had it as a low C, personally.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just above Simon Miller.
I would have had it lower than Simon Miller, but I guess we're going to keep with the theme of screw you, Simon Miller. So, yeah, put it there.
Sound.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't see this.
I hope he does. Up next, we have, according to this, that doesn't look right. What is that? I know what that is. I didn't write that one down. Oh, that's strange, because that's also the wrong one. Because that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I know what's wrong there. So this is the Kurt Angle diss.
Ah.
Not as good as Joe Hendry. No, he's not as good as Joe Hendry. He won the
From WCPW or Defiant, one of the two. I had this at a C,
Same.
which is a shame because I think it's one of the better ones technically, but
Yeah.
there are better ones from that era.
There are better ones from Defiant. It's one of the more stronger ones, but it's again, I think there could have been so much. It could have been more.
Yeah, I mean, because like Kurt Angle had a whole career he could have done stuff with.
Yeah.
Like even the TNA stuff where he wanted to do bestiality sex.
Yeah, like you had a lot of material, and I feel like you could have done more with it.
Yeah, and of course it was a parody of Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA." He won the round.
I think I've got it. I'll let you choose again where in C because we've just got. Oh,
As long as it's
so
above
many.
Simon Miller, I don't mind. No, I'd probably put it above Grimsby.
I'd say it's above John. If we're basing it purely off the Defiant ones, it's better than. It's better than the John Clink Bad Bones one.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be slightly above Jobber to me.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Up next, we have, I think, probably the longest one in the entirety of Hendry's entrances. It is the Day Blaze and Wee Man kinda diss, Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a parody of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Probably the greatest song ever made.
I see a little local hero of a man. Name is Joe, he's better than Fandango.
In my opinion, of course. And honestly, there are so many ways in which that this could have gone wrong, but Hendry kept the source material perfectly. Yeah. And it's for that reason that for me it's an S.
Ooh, okay. So I had this at a high B. I thought it does kind of. Obviously, you're a bigger fan of Queen than I am. I do so like Queen, but I think you're more of a diehard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it does. It is a bit long in the tooth, but it does. But like you say, he nails it. Mm-hmm. So even though it is still a bit long, he still nails it.
Yeah, like when
I'd be willing to put it. I would put it A.
Okay. I was going to say, when I used to watch these when I was younger, I used to hate the commentary. But the commentary adds much more to it.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking guy, I don't know his name, but he's going, fucking come on! Like,
Billy Kirkwood, yeah. He's just, he's a bit, I think he's a very much pick and choose it if you're a fan or not of his, but I think he is ICW. Like he's kind of the Scott UK's version of Joey Styles almost, where he's maybe not as good of a commentator in wrestling terms as Joey Styles, but in terms of getting that reaction or personality wise, he's very good. So yeah, I would say Bohemian Rhapsody. I would say A. My personal opinion, I think Seven Nation Army is still better, but
that's fair.
I'd probably put it like...
I'm willing to put it below Lionheart, above Bad from Diving.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's just a case of everything... Like, it's long for a reason, because I believe it's their biggest show of the year that they did it on.
Yeah, I think that is their biggest ever show in terms of attendance.
Yeah. I think because they were at the Hydro, weren't they? So...
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's part of the thing. At the Hydro.
So, up next we have a diss on Joe Hendry. I think we've had enough.
I watched the full video. I did not rank the Joe Hendry diss. I completely forgot about it. I thought, oh yeah, that should count.
I think we've had enough. A parody of Depeche Mode's Just Can't Get Enough by Wee Man. It's not Davey. Davey's there, but he's not part of it. Like...
Hendry's done some videos and some of them were fun, but I think we've had enough.
Yeah,
it's Wee Man.
it's the Wee Man.
I have this at a B.
Yeah, I think Wee Man never gets much credit in ICW. I feel he's been around a while. He's a good manager. He's just good, and he's funny as well. He's low-key very funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at dissing them. He works as both face and heel. He's now a face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd put this at B.
That's fair. Is it better than Dalton Castle?
Yeah, I would say so.
I agree. I'd put it probably below Axeman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up next we have the Joe Hendry reply to Wee Man and Davey Blaze. It is Sorry, the parody of Justin Bieber's song Sorry.
Is it too late now just to say sorry?
I thought Wee Man's song was better. I have it at C.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think this is still good for it as a kayfabe backup.
Mm-hmm.
It's
all in.
A very good one. All in, coming soon. That's my money, Tony. Anyway,
yeah, give me a meter, Tony.
Yeah, I'd say it's also a B.
Yeah, okay. So I was saying low.
I'd say it's definitely below that.
I
would say it's just below the Wee Man's one.
Ah, okay. I had it in C.
I mean, no.
And for me, it would have been about a mid C.
Okay.
So we're saying high C, or for
how
this,
about just to keep up with the memes, we put it in B, but above Dalton Castle.
Yes. Okay, I'm fine with that.
I'll say we're just creating beef with Dalton Castle, Simon Miller. Who else are we gonna throw disses at?
LA Knight, apparently. He's in F.
That wasn't LA Knight's fault. That was.
That's true. Up next,
who was in charge of TNA at the time? Bruce Pritchard. Screw you.
This
there we go.
is now coming on to the final stretch. We have about 10 left. We are on Drew Galloway with the song called Drew, which is a parody of Eiffel 65's Blue.
I'm Drew, never need,
I think, in terms of his ICW ones, I think this one is the most popular, or the one that made out the most, because, of course, this was this was in the middle of McIntyre being let go from WWE and his big resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
I do think with the more songs Joe Hendry releases, this one isn't as good as it was back in the day, but it is still a very strong one. As I say, I think it's in ICW's top 3 is Venga Boys, this, Lionheart.
And then this.
I think it's an A,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's just above 7 8. I don't think it's as good as Scotty 2 Hotty, but I think it's just better than Lionheart.
I agree with that, actually. Yeah, I agree with that, because I also had it in A. It just... Nothing is more catchy to me than, shite people's elbow.
Yeah.
It's good, though. It's very good. And as you said, I think as times have moved on, there's been better ones, and that have sort of saturated the market of Hendry themes.
Mm-hmm.
So up next, we have Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay Can Fly, which is a parody of I Believe I Can Fly by an artist we can't name.
Will Osprey can fly, and Will Osprey can touch the sky.
Yeah, this one. I feel like if this was done now, we would have a lot more material on Ospreay, because this was just when Ospreay was
Yeah, because
really
this
getting
was
noticeable.
This was just when he signed with WCW, isn't it? Like just when he made an appearance.
Yeah, and
Or announced, sorry.
just after he had done that Best of Super Juniors match with Ricochet.
Yeah.
I feel like if he were to do one nowadays, which I probably isn't going to happen, judging by where you are projected to go, which is such a shame. But I think this one, I have this at C. I think it's his Defiant Ones. His Defiant Ones were never bad, but they never hit. Well,
we're getting there. We're getting to a Defiant one that's. So are we saying it's better than Simon Miller?
everything's better than Simon Miller, so yes.
No, so
I think it's.
Big Joe.
I'll let you choose.
I think
I'll let you choose if you think that.
I think it's better. I think it's just under Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a C. Up next, we have the one on the NAK, the New Age Click, or Kaylee Ray. I'm not too sure who it's about. It's the parody of Biffy Clyro's Mountains, called Mountains.
I am Joe Hendry. I am Deity.
I had this at C.
Same.
Kind of basic, and it has Davey singing in it.
Yeah.
Davey's not.
I'm not really singing, but yeah.
Davey's not as good It's not as good at these.
Yeah.
Where do you want this one then? I was saying like.
I'll let you choose. I don't really have much of a strong preference to it.
Fair. I'll put it below Bad Bones, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Up next, we have a random indie one where he took on Wolfgang, Jack Jester, and Joe Coffey with Hendry number 5.
I can explain more because this was the old local promotion.
I'll be pinning Wolfgang for the win. I'm throwing Jack Jester in the bin. I'm stronger than Joe Coffey in the gym. Get ready cause Joe Hendry loves to sing.
Pro Wrestling Elite, which was ran by the late Lionheart.
Mm-hmm.
This was just they originally this was for the PWE Championship because Noam Dar had to relinquish because he was signing up for the Cruiserweight Classic, and it's a parody of Mambo number 5 or just Hendry number 5.
Mm-hmm.
I personally really like this one. There's maybe a bit of bias to it being local, but I think it's a very good one. It's quite catchy. I would put this at a B.
I agree. Yeah, I let it be. Yeah, it's catchy. I like Mambo number 5. Now, is it better than Dalton Castle?
I would say I'm quite high on it. I would maybe put it just below Axeman,
Fair.
personally.
Give it a minute. It's decided to freeze again. Look, see, it's over there now. Oh, there we go. So we put it, sorry?
Just below Axe.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Up next, we have one that might have a little bit of discourse. This is the joint tag theme in WCPW of Hendry and Joseph Connors, which is a parody of Union Undergrounds across the nation.
Let's get it on. Joe Hendry's music, play Joe Hendry's music, play Joe Hendry's music, yeah.
I have this at S.
I have this at A.
Ah, okay. How high is your A?
So the only reason it's not an S, for God's sake, Joseph Connors, give Joe Hendry some time. You take it's all about Joseph Connors.
Joseph Connors, Joseph Connors, Joseph Connors, Joseph Connors.
I barely noticed Joe Hendry's in it.
Exactly. It's so like hogging the limelight. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. You know, you maybe get Joe Hendry's music and Joseph Connors.
Yeah. And then the rest of the rest of was like Joseph Connors music plays. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I have this at A.
How high is the A?
I think this is the best of his Defiant work. I'd put it just between Bohemian Rhapsody and Revelation Army.
That's fair, because I had it at low S. So mine would have been like here.
Yeah.
So I think as a compromise we put it above maybe Lionheart.
Yeah, that's fine.
Up next we have the other Joseph Connor song, which was "Everything I Do It for Two," which is a parody of Bryan Adams' "Everything I Do It for You."
Everything I do it for two.
I had this at C.
I wasn't as big a fan on this one. I think I had it originally ranked as a D, so I'm probably thinking low C.
Yeah, low C it is. Above Miller.
Yep.
This is the one where Davey sings. This is Local Fire. This is a parody of Bloodhound Gang's The Bad Touch.
He's the man. You heard you the following slam. I'm Deity. Out here. Eat your more and fucking eels.
I was at C.
I have this at a high C. It's mainly due to the fact that I'm a big fan of Bloodhound Gang Bad Touch.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
And I'd say just below used DVD.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. I didn't even have a ranking on it
Yeah.
for C. It was just in C.
Yeah.
Up next we have another WCPW one. It is the Big Damo.
This is his first one as well.
Yeah, this is the Big Damo Hello, which is a parody of Adele's Hello.
Hello, it's Joe Hendry time.
I think again, this is one of the more stronger Defiant ones. I have this at a B.
I think it's quite weak for Defiant ones. For me, it's mainly just fat jokes. Look at Damo, he's a big man.
Sure.
Oh no.
He looks like Hagrid, which he does.
He looks like Hagrid. There's a fart joke, and there's like the only difference between us is a million meals. It's just fat jokes.
Yeah, I'll concede it's maybe I'd maybe concede to say a high C.
I'd throw it more like below Miller.
Really?
No. I'd probably maybe mid C.
I'm trying to see where we've put all the Defiant ones. I think it's better than the Will Ospreay one.
That's fair. Yeah, I can agree with that. Over here, I guess.
Yeah.
We have 2 left. We now have the Joe Coffey, I Dress Up as Superheroes, which is a parody of Enrique Iglesias' Hero.
I dress up as superheroes and cover everyone in paint.
I had it a B.
He will iron his clothes, fold them very neatly, and put them in piles. But that's my favourite part, honestly.
I had this at a B, personally.
I had this at a high C, so I'd be willing to put it in B.
Okay. Put it below Shake That Axe.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And our last one on here, there are 3 more on here, but they're like not really disses or anything. Is one I found randomly today, which was from a indie show called Unlimited Wrestling, which is on Nicholas Kloof, who's a German wrestler, I believe. It's a parody of Supertramp's The Logical Song.
When I was young, I saw Joe Hendry in Germany in front of me. Oh, it was beautiful, magical.
Which I had rated at a C.
I never saw this one, so I'll take your word for it.
So I had it a C personally. It's mainly just it's mainly just he wears a Burger King crown, and he looks a bit like on Cassidy.
Yeah,
that was about it. So
much, yeah.
I'd throw it below Bad Bones.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And that is the list, and the list is officially fucked on the video.
Yay!
There's the F's. There's the S's. There were 3 more down here, but there's like 2 COVID ones and one about a burger eating contest. But yeah, that does bring an end to this tier list, to this first ever tier list, and potentially, dare I say it, the first ever Joe Hendry custom theme ranking tier list.
Yeah, surprised no one's done it.
Yeah, I'm very surprised too.
We'll take full credit.
I looked on Tiermaker for this before I made it, and no one made one.
And you checked YouTube, and definitely no one's made it on that.
Yeah, it was very peculiar. I mean, there might be someone out there who's made one and they didn't release it, or it's behind a paywall. But we don't believe in paywalls because fans shouldn't have to pay for content. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway,
but if you want to give us money, please do. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, by all means, feel free. But we will never charge you for content.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous that people do that. Anyway, that does bring an end to this tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? There is a tier list on Tiermaker now for this. I made it public. However, you can't put all pictures on there. It's only like 12 maximum. So you have to put your own on there if you want to do all these like that we've done. But saying that does bring an end to this tier list. Hopefully the first of many. If you've got any other ideas for other tier lists that we can do, put them in the comments below. And I'll see what I can do, who I can get for it. But yeah, that does bring an end to this. Please like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Effing, that helps us really. It's all free, so it hurts no one. And in regards to the video itself, our outlets are down there. So our Instagram is HCW Show, Facebook is there, the HCW Show, our Twitter or X, the HCW Show, and our Twitch, which I've officially started streaming again. I haven't got a schedule just yet, but I was streaming some Fallout London the other day. It was quite fun. Kept dying. It was horrible.
Until you were stuck on 1 health and couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Did you eventually find your way back to wherever you were meant to go?
Yeah, I did.
I missed out. Oh well.
But yeah, no, I got lucky basically.
You see, that's what happens when you don't watch.
Exactly. You miss out on things. But the VOD is there if you wanted to watch it.
Fair enough.
But again, the streaming is coming back. It's about getting a schedule ready for it and stuff, but it is coming back properly. Have I missed anything? Oh yeah, go follow Muzza. Muzza's on Twitter. It's not Muzza44, is it? Oh no, it is Muzza, isn't it? Or is it your actual name?
Yeah. I think it is one of them. One of the at. I think the name, the at, is my name, but his real name, I don't know. You'll figure it out in the editing.
Yeah, it'll be in the description below. But just put in Muzza_4444. You'll find him. Like it's there. Like
I'm somewhere.
he's always
Find
there,
me.
and if he ain't out there, he'll be on here. Like he's part of the channel now.
Exactly.
Despite his will. But no, that does bring an end to this, and thank you once again for tuning in. Again, any ideas for us, let us know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do about it. But until then, I'll see you probably on Sunday for Show Squared, if I've not done a review of some other show that I went to. Peace! How do I quit?